Next question is from Troy Edmondson, a pretty well-known advisor. Troy asks, it's a question to the life companies and to Louise, to ASIC. And it's about the current level of level commission, the give or take 30% level commission. So I'm respecting Troy's question, but that's pretty well what it's about. So I'll read out his question. Josh Frydenberg indicated in his recent press release that level commission terms should remain as they are, i.e. around the 33% figure, with zero responsibility period, zero clawback. Will the life company representatives indicate whether they will continue with their current level commission terms as they are now? If not, what are you proposing going forward? And a question for Louise in the same context. Do you consider it appropriate that insurers reduce their level commission terms when the ASIC report 413 clearly indicated advisor recommendations under level commission posed no issue? So we'll come to you later, Louise. We'll take the three life company comments first. Before I do, just quickly read what Mr. Frydenberg did say in his release when he announced the life insurance framework proposals. And it's a preamble just before the 14 points. He says, this proposal is not intended to limit the industry's current ability to operate on a level commission or fee for service basis. That's exact wording. So we've just heard from you, Damien. Over to you guys.
Geez, I'll take the loaded gun. I think I need to wear a flak jacket today. I think the answer is it depends. I made a comment before in my presentation around the cost of remuneration is not going down. So in terms of looking at the costs around upfront versus hybrid versus level, I think there's a challenge there. And you know, listening to what you said around Frydenberg's commentary, he didn't talk anything about 33 versus 25 versus 42 or anything. He just talked about the notion of a level remuneration. So in terms of where we're at, and I won't speak on behalf of anybody else, but we're not sure where that is going to land. I know that the AFA has publicly said that let the market decide on where it should naturally land. So we're continuing to look for, have our internal conversations and also look for guidance in terms of where that lands. Personally, again, reflecting back on my own presentation, there's a cost impact here. So if we do go with a 33% level commission, it's not congruent or commensurate with comparing it to a 88-22 or a 20 level or whatever. So I think that there's a cost impact there, and will the customer in the long term wear that cost? Again, I'm just putting it out there.
All right, supplementary question, Mark. We're talking about level commission, and I know there are a lot of advisors in the audience who'll say, well, forget about level commission because my business model wouldn't work on that anyway, so it's a moot question. But for those for whom it is an issue, or for those interested, speaking just for yourself, not even as a representative of your company, would you be open to the notion, if the life insurance framework comes out and says 60-20 hybrid and 3-year clawback, that would you be open to the idea of continuing to offer a flat 30% commission for those advisors that don't want to look at the hybrid model, but really is too much of an ask to simply work on a 20% flat commission? Well, what's the point? You might as well go 60 in the first year if flat commission is only going to be 20% from here on in.
Well, I think that was the intent, to be honest. But yeah, I would support that. That makes sense.
Niall, over to you.
Yes, I would support that. I think there is advisors who are interested in maybe writing level commission and charging a fee. I'd like to see level commission is something that the market decides.
Okay, while we're there, David, you want to make any comment on that? Are you sort of really disappointed with this whole conversation as we're talking about commission at all?
I should probably be clear on that we don't expect anybody to flick a switch and get rid of all commissions overnight. What we want is what we've asked for is a roadmap. That's what we've suggested. What we liked out of the Trowbridge report was that it set down some kind of roadmap, some kind of future where we could move to fees and away from commissions. That's what disappointed us about the industry model released by Josh Frydenberg, but it's a step. Nevertheless, it's a step. And you know, my comment before that got so many tongues talking that commissions are, you know, are not a transparent way to price something. That's not something that we just have a go at the life insurance advice industry about. We say that to any industry, to any business that prices their products through commissions. We think it's just, commissions tend to obscure true prices. They are not as comparable. They're not as easy for people to compare provider to provider, product to product, which means that consumers lose out.
Okay, we'll come back to that because there's a question later about other industries and commissions. So thank you. I'm reminded, by the way, this is a Survive and Thrive Day, and I think there's an image, a big image of a lion behind me. And I kind of looking at this as a lion's den with regard to David being here and talking about Violi. So you're a champion, keep it going, but keep it relevant. Let's just keep talking and see where it takes us. Damien, I just want to ask you that same question about whether or not, depending on what capacity in which you want to answer the question, you're open to the notion of a 30% flat commission for those advisors that want to work on a flat commission basis from here on in.
Just to restate, I'm here as AIA and I'm here as Damien. So if anyone wants any FSC comments, that needs to really go to Sally and the team. Yeah, I don't think, I'm with Niall in terms of, I don't think we know where the numbers are going to fall in terms of mandate. I think it should be market and you determine what it is, and if level's there, great, we'll offer level, we'll support level. Can I ask a question? Those that aren't writing level now, how many would move to a level 30 as opposed to the other model? Cool. So,
interest, there's certainly
there's
interest.
a market, I mean, that's what you want, then, you know, it can be done. So it just really depends on where it lands now with the government release. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Thank you, Damien. Over to you, Louise. I'll repeat the question. Do you consider it appropriate that insurers reduce their level commission terms when the ASIC report 413 clearly indicated advisor recommendations on a level commission pose no issue?
In our report, what we identified, one of the key things that we identified was a correlation between high upfront commissions and poor consumer outcomes. So we didn't find the same issue where there was a level commission. I think the pass rate was a quite respectable 93%. Not that higher wouldn't be better, but that's pretty good. So, yeah, level commissions we think don't carry the same incentives to bad advice that very high upfront commissions carry. As for where that level should be set, I think that's really a question for industry. As a philosophical thing, we don't have a problem with a level commission. I guess if it got to a situation where the level commissions were such that they were providing the wrong incentives for good advice to be provided, then we might have a concern. But we're not at that position at the moment. We're still asking the question about what is the right commission structure, I think.
All right, okay, fine. Thank you. We'll go to you, Phil and Sam, then we'll come to you, Wayne, for your take on 30%, okay?
I agree with what Louise has said there, that the ASIC report said 93% for hybrid and level forms of remuneration. So we certainly came out of that report thinking upfronts had limited, very short-term future, but hybrids and level were acceptable. Now, what Louise said was leave it to the industry. What we say is leave it to the market. The market can determine this, and we think it would be wrong if the life insurers were talking amongst themselves about changing the level that applied, the rate that applied for level commission. Leave it to the market, and if the market, through normal competitive practices, leads to some small level of reduction in it over time, then that's an unavoidable outcome. But we certainly would not want to see the industry get together and decide we're going to reduce the rate.
I have a question to Phil. Aren't we clear about where the government stands because of Frydenberg's preamble on the press release that he's happy with level and the way it currently operates?
That was very much part of the negotiations, and it was actually put in there just at the last minute to give confidence that nothing in this framework suggested that there was a change that was required for level commissions. And we have certainly gone back to the Minister's office since that point to seek that confirmation. Nothing in this framework should change the ability for level commission terms to exist as they currently do.
So we know. so we know how the government's landed.
We can only rely upon what the Minister said to this point. We have to keep in mind that this has not been approved by Cabinet yet, and that's why we have to stay active in lobbying for the best possible outcome.
Okay, thanks.